Hey guys, this is Mrs. Yeagle, and this is chapter 17 of The Darkest Hour. Before I read to you, hold on. The last chapter was super suspenseful, but I think it's important that you realize that we are at this part of the book. This is what we've read, and this is what we have left. And so even though that last chapter was crazy suspenseful, we still have a long way to go in this book. So we're nowhere near the climax yet. I can't even imagine that because that last chapter was killer. Okay, here we go. Page 206. When I wake up, I taste blood. I cough, but the taste lingers, so I try to roll over to get a sip of water. I usually keep a glass on my nightstand, but my arm refuses to move. If Tilly is playing a joke on me, she doesn't know what she's getting herself into. Tilly? No answer. I attempt to sit up, but my arm still won't budge, and neither will my legs. My eyes jerk open to near darkness. Dim light filters in from the gap underneath the door, and there's just enough of it for me to see the leather straps wrapped around my wrists and ankles. The straps are fastened to the metal cot that I'm lying on and tightened over the gray hospital gown that I'm wearing. A ceiling fan blows stale air against my forehead. Where in the world am I? The memories come back to me in photographic bursts. Our attack on the laboratory, the soldiers all around me, the terrible words I saw scrawled on the chalkboard before everything went numb and black. Panic pounds at my chest, but panicking won't get me out of these straps or out of this room. I breathe in and breathe out until I can gather enough wits to take in my surroundings. I see 4 plain walls around me, and across from me there's a cabinet tucked against the wall. There's also a chair next to my cot, but that's it. A simple room. Knowing the Nazis, though, their plans for me will be far more complicated. If they've kept me alive this long, then they've done it for a very specific reason. A reason I'm not too keen on discovering. Wherever they've taken me, whatever they've put in me, I need to find a way out. I heave my body against the restraints, but the straps don't even groan. Searching for another option, I look for something to cut me free. A scalpel or scissors. But the Germans aren't stupid enough to leave those things lying around. The doorknob turns slowly and my heart spins. I wait for the soldiers to pour inside, but none come. Instead, an old man shuffles in, and he doesn't bother turning on the light. I shut my eyes and feign sleep. The man's footsteps near the bed, and he hums as if he's strolling through a candy shop. He ventures so close that I could reach up and crush his throat if it weren't for these restraints. While he continues his humming, I hear the scritch and scratch of a pen moving across a clipboard. I have an inkling that you're awake, Fraulein, he says suddenly. I don't move a muscle. There's no need to be afraid, he continues in French. Aren't you the least bit curious about me and why you're here? His words tug like a lure at all of my questions. I don't want to open my eyes for him, but at the same time, I know that it's useless for me to keep pretending that I'm asleep. At some point, I'll have to face him, and I might as well get it over with. I open my eyes a sliver and take him in. The dark room cloaks him in shadow, but I see the sharp edges of his clipboard and the crisp lines of his doctor's coat. Exactly what sort of doctor he may be, I don't know. How was your rest? He asks. When I don't answer, he switches languages with ease. Do you prefer we speak in English? Forgive me if mine is rusted. Is that what you Americans say? A shiver tickles over my skin. How does he know that I'm American? Had I been talking in my sleep? He chuckles. Where are my manners? Let me make proper introductions. He flips on the light switch and I finally get a good look at him. And an alarm screeches inside of me. You, I whisper. It seems you recognize me. I jerk my arms against the straps again. Suddenly the room feels far too hot. I need to get away from this man. I know him, and I know what he's capable of. Calm down, Fraulein. He scoots his chair next to me, and I scramble as far away as I can. Get away from me, Reinhard! He smiles, showing a bright gold tooth shining from the corner of his mouth. You believe that I am Elias Reinhard? I don't know why he's playing dumb. I'm absolutely sure that he's Reinhard. He looks just like the photograph that Dorner showed to me, despite the fact that his beard has turned snow white since the photo was taken. I hadn't expected his smile, though. It's friendly and warm, in spite of the yellow teeth. The sort of grin that makes you want to trust him. For that reason alone, I know I can't. What have you done with my friends? I ask. They're both well, just as you are. I tug at my shackles. I wouldn't describe this as well. Those bindings are for your safety, Fraulein Blaze. We wouldn't want you rolling off your cot in your sleep, now would we? How do you know my name? Oh, you'll quickly come to see that I know a good bit about you, Lucienne, or Lucy, as you prefer. Perhaps you can think of me as an admirer of yours. Nausea slinks into my stomach and settles there. Where are we? In your room? I don't like the way he says that it's my room, like I'm never getting out of it. What are you planning to do to me? Ah, wonderful question. He leaves my side for a moment to retrieve a syringe from the cabinet. He fills it with an amber liquid and carries the syringe toward my bed, cradling it as if it's made from the finest crystal. My plan for you is contained inside this very glass. He holds the syringe up, allowing the amber to catch in the light. Let me explain. Everything inside of me recoils because I know what he's holding. Don't touch me with that! Why are you afraid? I know what's in there. It's Zirfal. He smiles wide enough to fill the entire room. Haha, nothing could be farther from the truth. Don't lie to me, Reinhard. He pats my hand even after I wrench my fingers away from his. My name isn't Reinhard. It's Dr. Nacht. He tips the syringe back and forth in his hands. And this serum isn't Zirfal. In fact, it's not a virus at all. It's such a bald-faced lie that I nearly laugh. I saw the schematics myself. What schematics? These. He returns to the cabinet and removes a thick folder from a drawer, which he then places on my lap. He flips it open and spreads the paperwork onto the cot. Numbers and graphs, maps of the laboratory, and black and white photographs. Just like Dorner's. I don't say a word. I won't betray Dorner's identity, although I'm sure Reinhard, or Nacht as he insists on being called, has figured out his mole. Who showed you these schematics? He goes on. I shake my head. He digs through the photos to pull out one that I've never seen. Is this him? I squint at the picture. It's Dorner, all right, but his mussed hair has been combed back and he isn't wearing his glasses. That isn't the only thing that has changed about him either. He's wearing a uniform. A Nazi one. Is this a trick? Oh, you look confused, poor thing. The man named Nacht continues. This is not your fault. Despite your intelligence, you've played so well into our deception. He taps a finger on the photo that looks so much like Dorner. He told you quite the story, I'm sure. Let me see if I recall the details. A carefully researched virus, a plan to launch the disease against the Allies, and a cure to protect the Germans from it. He called it Operation Zerfall, didn't he? Lies. All lies. I rub my nails against my palms, tuning into the pain I'm causing myself rather than what he is telling me. I should trust Dorner. Shouldn't I? The man leans back into his chair. The documents he showed you were forgeries. Granted, we put months upon months of work into them to ensure they looked accurate, even to a scientist's eyes. But in the end, they were all meaningless. You're lying. It's the truth. His hand strokes mine, and his fingers are soft as pudding. I shudder. You see, there is no virus, no terrible disease. Simply put, there is no Operation Zerfall. My mind springs back to the little girl crying tears. The photos! Yes, the photos. He returns his attention to the folder and fans a few out onto my cot. He stubs his finger against one that shows a balding man. Patient 9. He lived quite a while, much to my surprise. And here, patient 32. He pulls out a photo hidden beneath the others, and my heart jerks to a stop. The little girl. She lasted longer than the subjects before her. It was a pity when she finally succumbed. He gives a little shake of his head. But what a gift she led to the Wonderwolf project. The things we learned from her. I see that I'm getting ahead of myself, though. You see, these photographs are indeed authentic. But these subjects, my patients, didn't die from a virus. They gave their lives for a purpose much greater. Now he's talking nonsense. Stop it, Reinhard. My name is Dr. Nacht. His hand curls around my fingers, his attempt at comforting me. You have, however, met Elias Reinhard. He shows me the photo of Dorner again. It's this man, the one you know as Alexander Dorner. A chill sears through me, and he keeps talking. Hauptstufurmer Reinhard is one of the most promising young officers in the Nazi military. He was the one who concocted the Dorner alias, and he was quite meticulous about it, studying pathology terms and perfecting Dorner's quiet demeanor. I wouldn't have expected any less, considering he's my nephew. My chest feels flayed open, and he isn't finished. I thank you for what you have done, he goes on. Reinhard has infiltrated London because of your work. I learned that last night, that he has already sent his first message to his superiors in Berlin, and they hope to receive many more soon, once he has unturned the Allies' strategies and next missions. It hurts to breathe. Everything Dorner told me was a carefully crafted lie. This was all a trap, and I fell right into it. Not only that, I'm the reason why the Allies have taken him in. If Dorner, or Reinhard, whichever his name is, gains the SOE's trust, then who knows what secrets he'll pass on to the Nazis. What have I done?